Hello, my name is Mandy Pulo, and I am aiming to receive my post-bachelorate speech certification in May of 2017. Originally, I wanted to talk about how to check hearing amplification devices, but then because I didn't have the hearing aids or devices for demonstration, I decided to go another route. So what I ended up doing was including the topic within my in-service. And you can read all this information in the in-service packet. My in-service packet includes the structure for the in-service, activities with directions, space to write notes, and built-in worksheets. Now, the worksheets can be printed out separately, but what I prefer is to leave everything all-inclusive so that the teachers can follow along at every step. I do not consider this a presentation, but an overview of the in-service and the activities within. With the right materials, I believe that this can be a great in-service and a great training for teachers. I'm a firm believer of learning through experience, so my in-service is set up to have about 40 minutes of activities with 20 minutes for facilitation and lecturing. All the details and images for everything that I discussed today or introduce you to is within the packet. The descriptions of each strategy can also be found in the packet as well. I hope you enjoy this overview and can envision this in a teacher's meeting. So, I'd like to begin with an activity. And with this first activity, I would ask all the teachers to close their ears and make noises. So maybe something like la 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 la, me 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 me. And while they're doing that, I would ask a partner to try to talk to them. And the point of this exercise would be to simulate what it might be like to have hearing loss. The idea is that we cannot hear each other if there are distractions. And when a person with hearing loss hardly has any hearing, all the distractions that might not bother us just make hearing even more difficult for someone that has hearing loss. So after that activity, I would ask some questions such as, can I get a show of hands of how many people have ever taught a child with a hearing loss? And then I might continue to follow that up with, do you think that the child performed to the best of his or her ability? And then I will also ask, were there changes that you think you could have made to promote success? Alright. So, and here we have our next activity. Small group discussions. What do you think the biggest challenges are for incorporating a child with hearing loss in a classroom? And I would let them speak for a few minutes, and then we'd get back together. So let's see what So after a few minutes of pair or group discussion, I will introduce our strategies. So, 3 strategies for incorporating children with hearing loss in the classroom. Number 1, know the type of hearing loss and its requirements. Number 2, know how to check hearing devices and perform them daily. Number 3, set up the classroom for success. Alright, so I would briefly question the members, the audience members, about some possibilities that might come up that they need to be aware of if they're working with children that have hearing loss. So, some examples I have, and you can, again, see these all in the packet, are which kind of hearing aid devices do they have? Will an assistive hearing device amplifier system be provided to the student? Can the child lip read? Does the child require a sign language interpreter? And many other questions. Alright, so after posing these questions to get them, their minds stimulated and thinking, I have another activity. So, this activity is called Hearing Aid Devices, and it will last for about 10 minutes. So the idea is that there will be many hearing aid devices located at a specific in a specific part of the room. It could be in the front, on a table, in the center of the room. If there are enough materials, we could have sets of the devices in different locations. But the idea is that we want to have the teachers take a look at the device, see the number that is next to the device, and then in pairs or in groups, see if they can properly label the name of the device on the number. So there'll be a worksheet provided that has, like, for example, numbering from 1 to 7. And they'll go around in groups or in pairs and try to guess what the devices are called. Now, to make the activity easier, is we might have the names of the devices printed out throughout the room, so that way they can mix and match, so it'll be less of a challenge. Because depending on the different experiences of the teacher, they might not have any experience regarding knowledge of hearing devices. Okay, and then after, or near the 10 minutes, we would come together and reveal the answers, and people can check how they did, and then also make sure that they write the appropriate answers down, so that it's a learning experience. They'll learn from it. Okay, so now to get into our first strategy, know how to check hearing devices and perform them daily. We will discuss how and why performing hearing checks daily are important. And in the packet, I have images, or if this were a reel in service, I would have a PowerPoint with the information that's on my packet, the PowerPoint slides. So, there is a image here that has labels all the different parts of a basic behind the ear hearing aid. And we continue with instructions on how to check a hearing aid device. And we follow that up with some great tips here. And we go into administering the 6 Ling sound test. The 6 Ling sounds are oo, ah, e, sh, and s. There's an image that's presented that the teachers can use to administer the 6 Ling test to a student. And we use the 6 Ling test to basically make sure that the hearing aid device is working as properly as possible. There are also tips on here about how to check the sounds. And there are also examples for keeping the child on task. And one of the examples, the child is given a ring, and when somebody that's not in the direct vision of the student, well, in this case the teacher or an assistant, could say the sound, and then when the child hears it, they'll have to turn and look in the direction of the sound, and then they are gestured that they can put a ring on a cone. Or we could use blocks, we can stack blocks, but something so the child can participate and while the test is occurring. Now there's another activity here that's a quick share about what are potential tasks or activities that the teachers can do to keep the child engaged. So we question the teachers about their ideas, and they share those ideas. So number 2 is setting up the classroom for success. Or, excuse me, this is wrong. It's actually the 3rd strategy. There's a list on here about the surroundings. We have to be aware of our speaking voice, our volume, and our speed. The teacher has to be aware about his or her position in the classroom and the child's position in the classroom. And on the in-service packet, there are further examples and pictures that support this strategy. So what I think is one of my favorite parts of this is that another activity that's approximately 10 minutes is a brainstorming session between teachers to pose possible solutions for potential problems that they might have while educating a child that has a hearing loss in their classroom. And I pose different problems, and they should work together to come up with solutions. And at the end, they should come up with their own problem and possible solution. All right, and for the last part here, we will just have another brief discussion, activity, I would call it activity discussion, about what we can do in our classrooms to maximize success for our children with hearing loss. And that's just kind of to bring everything together. And the floor is open to share. Thank you. There are many resources that are included at the end. So happy searching, happy researching, and happy teaching. Thanks for watching.